As someone who invests a lot of time and money into my wardrobe, I want to open my closet or drawers and feel excitement for the things that are there. But like most of us, I have some items that need a little bit of work to be perfect. But taking care of what I already have is a big part of my personal values. So I like to take the month of February, which is the shortest month of the year, to specifically focus on those sustaining tasks and learning the repair skills that help me maintain the clothing that I already own. The work of sustaining a joy filled wardrobe and fiber arts practice isn't as exciting as a new cast on, and it isn't as comforting as practicing the skills that we already have. I call this project Fix, Frog, or Finish February, and this February 2026, I am choosing at least one object to fix, one to frog, and one to finish. Our first category is fixing. So I'm going to try to find a couple of things from my closet that need to be fixed. And what fits in this category to me are things that are very close to perfect and need just a little bit of work to be perfect or to be wearable again. The things I'm picking this time around are both ready to wear items. So the first one I have is this sweatshirt, and I wear this all the time. I wear it to bed just about every night. I wear it kind of when I get home from work. It is kind of my most common winter pajamas. And what needs to be fixed on this sweatshirt is the cuffs. So this cuff's not quite as bad, but it's getting some fraying. The one that's really bad is the one on the right side, which is kind of all the way through, and it's got like a hole on it, and then it's got some other areas that are worn. So I'm going to look up how I can fix this, and I do have a book called Creative Mending that I purchased a while ago, and I haven't really used it very much to do visible mending. So I do want to use this book for both this project and then the next one. The other item is also ready to wear. This is a pair of jeans, and like many of us, I have thighs that rub together when I walk. And I always wait way too long to do anything about this. And in the past, I've thrown pants out that have done this. So my plan for this is to add some fabric to patch in there and maybe do some sashiko again from the creative mending book using the instructions in there. Like I said, I've never patched a pair of jeans before, but I think these are probably a good pair to practice on because it's not like I'm going to be able to use them for anything else because these are unwearable today. The next category is frog, and this category, as the name implies, if you're in knitting or crochet, you know that frogging means that ripping out the entire project back to yarn. These projects fit into one of two categories. Either they are projects that no longer fit the vibe, or they are items that are so poorly made or so poorly fitted that the only way to salvage them is to rip them back and start over. Now, because I'm kind of starting late in February this year, although I have a couple of things that may qualify for a full rip back of a finished object, I am going to save those for another time. I'm going to focus my efforts on items that I'm going to frog and leave as yarn and make something completely different at a later date. So the frogging I'm planning on actually just getting done today during this episode. And then I can have kind of a third of the projects already done because it's kind of nice to start a checklist with some stuff already checked off. I feel like this is something I can knock out very quickly. So the first item you may recognize is from last year. This was a project that was on my Fix It February from last year. And this is, I believe, called the 3-color cowl. And this is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. And what I was going to do is maybe you do see that the ribbing up here is a looser gauge than what's below it. And the bind off is actually fine. I remembered that the bind off was a little bit loose, but I actually don't think that's the problem. I think what I needed to do is go down a needle size for the ribbing, which I did not do. And yeah, I think that this just needs to be reknit up at the top if I wanted to fix it. However, as I said, I wanted to fix this last February, and it's been an entire year, and I haven't even started reknitting this. And at first, the delay was I couldn't find this gray yarn to reknit it, but I found the gray yarn months ago, and I still have not chosen to pick this up and reknit the ribbing. This is probably one evening worth of work. And the reason I haven't done that is this is just not my style. If you look on Ravelry, all of the people wearing this have this kind of over their heads and and kind of pulled up like this to show off all of the pieces of it. And I can do that, but that's not very practical. So, and if I wear this over my neck, it's quite close to my chin. It's not, it doesn't, I don't think it looks very good on me. And it covers up a lot of the cool stitch patterns that are in it. So I think that I'm just going to frog this and I'll use the yarn for something else. Okay, so now I am finished frogging my cowl and here's the yarn. So I'm just gonna go give this a soak and that should bring it back to being a little bit less kinky. I'll be able to use it. And the other item that I'm going to frog is one that you may recognize from my What I Wish I Knew as a Beginning Hand Spinner video. It is this garter scarf that I'm making with hand spun that I got for free with my spinning wheel. And this is someone else's beginning hand spun. But I'm just not enjoying the project. And actually, I think I'm going to make another garter scarf with this yarn. I think I would just rather make like one of those Sophie scarf shapes, or even something the same shape as this scarf, which is kind of a boomerang shape. This is the milkshake scarf by Vera Valimaki. And I think something that's more this shape, or even like a little Sophie scarf, would be a better fit for me. A little bit more stylish than just a square or rectangular scarf. So I just need a more interesting knitting project is all. So I started this over a year ago and I haven't worked on it in about a year. So to me, that's a sign that this is a lingering whip. However, I actually kind of like what I was doing with the stripes here. There were two skeins of yarn that were very similar in that duffel bag. I have enjoyed kind of alternating those two, and I will probably just do the same thing in whatever scarf I end up making out of this hand spun, but it just won't be this rectangular scarf. So what I'll probably do is just bind off and save this as a swatch, and then restart on the same needles with more of like a Sophie scarf style scarf, and maybe this can even be a finish. I don't want to put the pressure on myself to finish an entire project in the next couple of weeks, because there's not really a reason to put that time pressure on myself. Yeah, I've got plenty of other deadlines in my life. I don't need to add a knitting deadline for no reason. So the goal is to frog this and maybe cast on a new version that fits the yarn better, I guess fits my mood better. So yeah, that's those are the two items I'm gonna frog. As you may recall from my last kind of podcast episode where I was updating you on what I was working on, I have this lingering spinning whip, and I believe I called it the Corydell from Hell. Here it is. This is my finished item. I've got this much Corydell left in the project, and then I'm done. So plan is to spin this and finish at least the singles and maybe ply one skein, or even like ply a mini skein and sample it. This is something that's been lingering for quite a while. I've been working on it for more than a year. I don't usually take this long to finish a spinning project, even on spindles. And I've been spinning this on my spinning wheel. So I'm just not finding a lot of joy in the fiber, to be honest. But I have knit with a little bit of the yarn, of the finished yarn that I sampled, and it wasn't bad. So I'm thinking the yarn's probably okay. I'm just not enjoying the process, and it feels like something that's a little bit hanging over me. And I think that's kind of the purpose of the finish it part of Finish It February is just there are things in my whips drawer that I'm not looking forward to working on, and yet there's this sunk cost, or there's all of this time that I've already sunk into it. So it's at the point of, I won't say it's ever really at the point of no return, but it's kind of at the point where I'll get more out of it if I finish it, even if it's kind of a, yeah, grit your teeth and bear it. I don't know. That's just how I'm feeling about this right now. I just want to get it finished. There is one other item that I considered adding to Finish It February, and it may be the elephant in the room of a lot of these videos, but I have a floor loom behind me, and it's not a new floor loom, but it's a new to me floor loom. And I started a very ambitious weaving project on it. And I have a few more things left to do, which is I need to slay it, which means I need to pull the yarn through the heddles and the reed. And then I need to tension it on the cloth beam. And I've been putting off the threading and slaying part of the project because it just feels really huge. Um, so one of the things I do want to do, and I'm going to call this a bonus because I don't want to overload myself with too many things and not get anything done. I would love to have it finished, but I actually think that saying that I'm going to finish it will just overwhelm me. There's 240 ends that I need to put through the heddles, and I think an experienced weaver would probably do this in a day, but because I am not an experienced weaver, I'm quite overwhelmed with every single step of warping this loom. Basically, it's a very ambitious project for a first weaving project, and the reason I'm overwhelmed may be because of that choice. And I don't want to rule out something that I might actually enjoy just because I bit off more than I could chew for my first project. So, plan is to finish warping the loom for this project, finish this project, do one more project that's a little bit more beginner friendly. And then at the end of that, if I still don't like it, I will quit weaving and give the loom away to someone else. So I want to get one step closer to that by warping this loom in February, or at least getting started on warping the loom. Thank you all so much for joining me as I plan out my fix, frog, or finish plans in the month of February. I hope that I do plan to share the progress on these things as we go along in the month. I know we're about halfway through the month now, but by the end of the month or maybe the beginning of March, I'll go over the results of the project and show you kind of what I did to make my jeans and sweatshirt repairs. And I hope that you'll stick around for it. If you want to make sure that you don't miss that, be sure to subscribe. I'm also showing you, I'm also letting YouTube pick another video of mine that they think that you might like. So I invite you to check that out as well. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.